In section 87, Tennyson describes a visit back to Trinity College years later. Trinity College is where he and Hallam met. Hallam, I think I heard Hallam was a little bit younger than Tennyson, but he had been at Trinity College already a couple of years before Tennyson arrived. And Tennyson has a walk down memory lane, we would say, or he recalls, nostalgia is when you look back at your past memories and you kind of feel that sweetness of the times you've been through, even if they were very hard or very difficult times. Space and time, the passage of time can make even hard and bitter things sweet. Um, I think about, I'm sure you've had this experience as well when you visit something from your childhood, maybe your elementary school, or walking through your neighborhood where you played as a child. For me, seeing the cracks on the sidewalk that I remember from all those years ago, um, running your hand along a fence that you used to run your hand along, or seeing visiting old scenes from high school where I used to hang out with my friends, and it brings back these floods of memories in wonderful ways. Even if at the time you didn't think that it was going to be sweet and wonderful, it was just life. He describes, let's see, where once we held debate. Tennyson and Hallam were part of a debate club. I don't think it was an official school club, but they called themselves the Apostles. And they would gather together and discuss and debate and make decisions and try to prove one point or another. I don't think the Apostles kind of implies a religious discussions, and I don't think they were all religious, but that certainly religion was part of what they discussed. And so he's fondly remembering those times. And then at the end, this little phrase here: over those ethereal eyes, the bar of Michelangelo. Apparently, according to my Norton Critical Edition, Michelangelo had a thick kind of ridge on his eyebrow, or his forehead above his eyebrows, and Hallam also had a similar physical feature. So that's the bar of Michelangelo. I would have assumed it was some artwork or something, but so I'm grateful for the information provided by the editors here. Okay, 87, a walk down memory lane. Oh, one more thing. The fanes in line 5, the fanes with the prophet blazoned on the panes. Fanes are the chapels at Trinity College with their stained glass windows. And the high organs make this thunder music. You can just picture the organ that kind of rattles your bones as it plays these kind of solemn hymns. I passed beside the reverend walls in which of old I wore the gown. I roved at random through the town and saw the tumult of the hills, and heard once more in college fanes the storm their high-built organs make, and thunder music rolling shake the prophet blazoned on the panes, and caught once more the distant shout, the measured pulse of racing oars among the willows, paced the shores, and many a bridge, and all about the same gray flats again, and felt the same, but not the same. And last, up that long walk of limes I passed, to see the rooms in which he dwelt. Another name was on the door. I lingered, all within was noise of songs and clapping hands and boys that crashed the glass and beat the floor. Where once we held debate, a band of youthful friends on mind and art and labor and the changing mart and all the framework of the land. So he answers my question there. They debated um, philosophy and art and the changing economics and all of those different things. When one would aim an arrow fair, but send it slackly from the string, and one would pierce an outer ring, and one an inner, here and there, and last the master bowman he would cleave the mark, a willing ear we lent him, who but hung to hear the rapt oration flowing free. My understanding of this verse here is that he's not, maybe they did archery, but I think he's describing their discussions in the apostles' group as if it were archery, and that others would make a good point here or there, but when Hallam would stand and speak, it was just bullseye after bullseye after bullseye, and they all kind of hung on his every word. They couldn't wait to hear what brilliant thing he was going to come up with next. Let's see. From point to point, with power and grace, and music in the bounds of law, to those conclusions when we saw the God within him light his face, and seem to lift the form and glow in azure orbits heavenly wise, and over those ethereal eyes the bar of Michelangelo.